What happens when the wife of one of the most powerful conservative voices in America suddenly finds herself at the center of a scandal that could shake the entire movement? Because that's exactly what's happening right now with Erika Kirk, the woman everyone thought was untouchable, until Candace Owens dropped a bomb that no one saw coming.
And I want to be clear, we're not here to make assumptions, okay? And we wouldn't have to make any assumptions if Turning Point USA could just tell the truth. They could just be open and they could be honest about everything. Okay, I obviously went out to both Mikey McCoy and Andrew Colvett for a statement, asked those two questions. Hey, who were you on the phone with? What's going on here? No response. Weird. Because if that was me and I saw clips going viral and people were drawing conclusions from that clip, thinking that I was already on the phone, thinking that my reaction was weird, I would instantly hit back. I'd say, here's my call log. You want to know who I was on the phone with? 911, obviously. I was freaking out. I called 911. I didn't know what I was doing. Here's my phone. Here's my whole call log for that day. But this is, I don't know. I guess we live in a world where that doesn't make sense. I would have issued a statement to dispel any rumors, but they have not. Here's what I want to say, and I honestly understand I'm preaching to the choir here. Everything about this is wrong. You know it, and I know it. But I actually know it better than most because I helped build that organization, and that's why I am almost the perfect person to discern what is normal and what is abnormal in terms of what happened at that college campus event. In fact, when I did my tribute to Charlie, this is unbelievable. Remember, just after he died, I posted a video to my friend Charlie Kirk, and I shared a clip of him at a college event, and he and I were laughing, and I'm going to show you that clip in a second. And I said, I don't even know which college this is when I showed the clip because I didn't know what college it was. And unbelievably, it was UVU.
It's like, lady, didn't your husband just get his face blown off like 2 seconds ago? And not to be insensitive about it, but everyone's thinking it. No one wants to be the asshole. No one wants to say it. Everyone's thinking it. Everyone was thinking it when she gave the first speech. Everyone was definitely thinking it at the memorial. Nobody wants to say it because it's inappropriate. It's insensitive. I am the troll, right? So I'll be the one to say it. I think it's super inappropriate. I think it's inappropriate. I think it's weird. It's bizarre. Something is off there, and I don't like it. But they're doing the Super Bowl commentators with the headsets on, doing a media table. They're selling merch, registering voters. They got pyrotechnics. Is this WrestleMania or is this a funeral? Like, what are we doing here? And then, the day after the funeral, I'm getting 500 texts and emails. Erika Kirk here. I miss him. Every time I blink, every beat of my heart. Make sure to donate $5, $15, $25. It's like, okay. Then they're doing a show. Did you see the show today? And so prescient. I said it last night. I said, I'm getting like a fake vibe. Something's off there. And people say, well, everybody grieves differently. Yeah, I don't know how much mileage we can get out of that one anymore. Something's not right there. Very bizarre, weird vibe there. And did you see the show? Erika hosted the Charlie Kirk show this afternoon, and she's like, she looks like she's over the moon. She's happy as a clam. And again, who am I to judge? Everybody grieves differently. She's a very devout Christian. Some people say maybe that's just strength, that's resolve. I don't know. It's one thing if your husband dies, period. It's another thing if your husband dies at age 31, unexpectedly. It's another thing if your 31-year-old husband unexpectedly dies because he gets publicly executed with blood gushing out in front of thousands of people screaming and running away. That's like something that's altogether different.
Before the chaos began, Erika Kirk was known for grace, faith, and quiet influence. A former beauty queen turned entrepreneur, she built a reputation on faith-based projects and women's empowerment. She wasn't just Charlie Kirk's wife. She was a rising name in conservative circles, hosting events, speaking at summits, and shaping the narrative behind the scenes. But power always draws attention. And in 2024, her influence reached a point no one expected.
Something else going on here. Epstein was not some sort of whiz kid hedge fund manager. Epstein was playing a part. Epstein was a LARPer. Epstein was cast for a specific role, and he played it really well.
Nothing is a coincidence. Hold on to that thought. Did you know that Charlie Kirk's father, Robert W. Kirk, was actually the architect for Trump Towers? Also, did you know that Erika Lane Kirk won Miss Arizona USA in 2012? Don't forget, Donald Trump ran Miss America from 1996 until 2015. Seeing the correlation here? Now, not saying age difference is a big thing, but did you know Erika was 5 years Charlie Sr.? But this is where coincidences aren't. Well, this was so arranged. And there's so much more to Erika Kirk. Kind of like how she was all into basketball, didn't want to be all girly, never liked to dress up, even cut all her hair off, and ended up being Miss USA. How does that happen? How do you go from sports to Miss USA? And then they meet at a Turning Point event in 2018, where she's interviewing for a job for Turning Point.
Sickening is definitely the right adjective, I think, to describe how a lot of us are feeling. And all I know how to do is to gather information, to research, and to investigate. And nothing is making sense. Now, it could not be making sense because we've not arrived at the conclusion. The FBI, I will say, has recently come out and said they're looking for another person. Good, because what we have so far obviously cannot be it. I feel, I was insisting that everybody read that book, Chaos, about the Charles Manson murders. And what we learn from that book is that if the government does want to hide something, what they do is they give you so much information that you can't you don't even know what's real. So many different possible ways that things could have gone down, so many different manners, so many people speaking, so many publications publishing. And it's just meant to be chaotic, to drive you crazy and to just go, okay, I'm just going to accept whenever the authority says something and not prod any further. We can't allow that to happen here. I won't allow that to happen here because this something terrible has traumatized the world, okay? And I feel as though when it comes to this, the media, the government, the talking heads, everyone is confusing us about what actually took place with Charlie Kirk, this event, how it got set up. I even would like to know who picked the venue.
Turning Point USA, better known as TPUSA, is one of the most influential youth political movements in America. So when Erika was announced as CEO, jaws dropped. Some called it a natural move. Others whispered that it was all about keeping control within the Kirk circle. Under her watch, the organization looked unstoppable, until cracks began to show. Behind the smiles and speeches, insiders started talking. Something wasn't right. Then came the moment that changed everything. Out of nowhere, Candace Owens, once a close ally of the Kirks, went public with claims that sent shockwaves through the conservative world.
I have to say, any woman that can get on stage and meaningfully say that they forgive the person who, their husband, that quickly, you are truly a better person than me because I've just been so angry and so angry. What sort of widow wouldn't want people to investigate the assassination of their husband? She has not explicitly said that, but the influencers are invoking his quote-unquote closest friends, his closest political allies, the White House. They all seemed kind of ready to move on so much faster than I was.
She hinted that Erika's position at TPUSA wasn't as clean as it seemed, suggesting there were hidden deals, personal conflicts, and betrayals buried beneath the surface. Candace didn't just criticize, she exposed. Screenshots, leaked messages, and subtle digs began surfacing across X and YouTube. The internet went wild, and suddenly Erika's name was everywhere, but not for the reasons she wanted. The fallout was brutal. Donors reportedly began asking questions, and TPUSA insiders grew restless. Some accused the leadership of favoritism, while others insisted the entire drama was a political setup meant to divide the movement. Meanwhile, Erika stayed silent. No statements, no denials, just silence. A move that made the speculation even louder. For many, it wasn't about what Candace said, it was about why she said it, and what she knew that the rest of America didn't. Rumors spread that Erika's darkest secret wasn't just personal, it was political. Allegedly, a deal involving donor funds and influence over media narratives had backfired. Insiders claimed Candace discovered internal emails and private messages suggesting backroom favoritism and hush-hush alliances. Whether the claims were true or exaggerated didn't even matter anymore. The damage was done. Erika Kirk's name had become a symbol of everything people both admire and distrust about power. While Erika maintained her calm public image, Candace doubled down. She began hinting that she'd barely scratched the surface, keeping followers hooked for what she might drop next. The feud grew into a digital Cold War, two powerful women with different missions, both shaping conservative media in their own way. And while Candace's followers cheered her for exposing hypocrisy, Erika's defenders called it a smear campaign driven by jealousy and influence battles. Now, reports are surfacing that Erika Kirk has been quietly stripped of her CEO role at TPUSA. No official statement yet, but insiders claim the organization is restructuring leadership. If true, it marks one of the most dramatic shakeups in recent conservative history. And here's the twist. Candace might not be done yet. Some say she's preparing to reveal even more details about what really went down behind closed doors. So here's the question everyone's asking. Was Erika Kirk unfairly targeted in a personal power struggle? Or did Candace Owens just uncover the truth that no one else had the guts to say out loud? Either way, the fallout has changed TPUSA forever. The once unstoppable Kirk brand now faces its biggest test yet. And the next move could decide whether Erika rebuilds her image or disappears from the spotlight for good. Because in this world, secrets don't stay buried for long.
So I went down the Erika Kirk rabbit hole, and let me just say, if any of this is true, then this is insane. Let me start off by saying that this is all allegedly. So a lot of people have been raising questions about Erika Kirk ever since the memorial, and then the one video she put out addressing the nation about Charlie Kirk, and then the picture she posted with him in the casket caused people to do a bunch of digging about her. Just seem very disingenuous. So apparently she used to run an orphanage in Romania, and it was a Christian orphanage, and allegedly a lot of kids went missing. A lot of kids who came into that orphanage went missing. With her ties to you-know-who, his ties to you-know-who, a lot of people are speculating that those kids were trafficked. Because she won Miss Arizona in 2012, which was co-owned by Donald Trump. I remember Erika Kirk and Donald Trump, they have history. They've been knowing each other. But here's another thing. She is allegedly banned from Romania. He was kicked out of Romania. Orphanage closed down. And among that, a lot of people are speculating that the one video was AI or it was a reptilian and it wasn't really her and she was in on it. And there's allegedly TikTok, allegedly. This rabbit hole goes really deep when you start to look. All I'm saying is that there's a lot of things that look fishy, okay? And these are the things that are being put out there. And so I do think it is strange. A lot of people were saying that she was Bro's handler, allegedly, and he knew something. She was there to watch him and she knew something and she had to pull the plug or tell people about, you know what I mean? This is all alleged. TikTok, this is alleged. This is people's conspiracy. I'm not saying any of this is true. This is all allegedly for entertainment purposes only. If none of this is true, let her grieve in peace. Maybe this is just her coping mechanism. Maybe this is just the way she grieves. But a lot of people on the internet are raising questions about her.